never really spent that much time on two walls, you know? Like, they were fun, but it wasn't like just skating through your town, skating to the next town, skating 2 towns over. We'd skate to New Brunswick, and we'd skate the parking decks and the college campus and stuff. These were adventures. It started as emulating vert tricks on the street, but you'd try to find something that was an embankment or something that you could, you know, skate like a quarter pipe. Even if it was like a driveway with a curb at the top of the driveway. The slightest embankment, you know, it was like you'd skate at it and you'd foot plant on the parking curb and jump back down the way you came. Even if there was no sign of an embankment at all, in your head there was, you know. And then what we realized and what was happening was the skating in between was uncharted. You know, that's where street skating was becoming, we were developing it, because it became spontaneous. We'd go down the street and we would truly adapt to the environment. That's where I really got plugged in. You know, it was the adventure of just going out and riding, and that's where I started to excel, or realize like I had a deeper connection to this thing. You know, I just became more animalistic in the environment. Up and down curbs, through parking lots, over, under, whatever was in my way, I just started skating everything. And I just understood it as being something that was, it was special. Like I just felt like this is unlike anything else in the world, you know? And it was so, it was so meaningful. I think the biggest thing that happened was World Industries. And then when Rodney and I left Powell Peralta together, it changed everything. It was time and place and the right guy, and I was the right guy at the time. I was the hottest street skater in the world at the moment, and I left the biggest company in the world, you know, or the skateboard world. And I went and started this thing up with Rocco, and it signified the change from ramps to streets. And Rocco was out, in some ways, was out to kill vert skating for his own business, because I think he understood that street skating was accessible, and you sell a lot more skateboards to kids if they're out riding the streets as opposed to riding ramps. Rocco had this way of just making myself, Gons, Nadas, other people that he had influence on. Why he had the influence, I don't know, but he just had this way of making us feel like, oh, we're in this together. And I'll tell you what, man, and I don't think I've ever like really thought about it or said it before, but we wanted to be in it together. You know? We connected with each other, and we felt we had something going on that no one else really had at all. And I related to Gons and Nadas more than I did any other skaters. I think they related to me. We all were friendly with each other. I stayed at Nadas' house, I stayed at Gons' house when I came to California. Well, the first super team of the next generation after the Bones Brigade, yeah, I guess it'd be Plan B. I mean, it could have been World. World had the potential. I mean, Plan B was like the best of what World Industries and H Street had created. But you know, I guess it was the first super team, but it's also the first thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I took it. It was the first thing that came across as being like athletics, a sport, jocks. You know, I always thought skating was artists, creative. You know? Yeah. So, and also I felt like, you know, the very first Plan B video, as great as it is and was, it was the first video to turn people off from skating. You know, to make them go, fuck this, man, too hard. They were just going for it, man. They were aggressive, you know. They were flexing, you know, in a big way. And it was the kind of thing that it didn't welcome you in. It said either you do what we're doing, or you're not even, you don't even matter. But you know, that's also when skating got dark, man. It got dark, and it was way underground, and it was, you know, only the real deal motherfuckers were still in the game. You know, it was tough. I mean, it's tough for me. You know, I mean, I love skateboarding. You know, I loved it. I didn't want to leave it, but I couldn't do what those guys were doing, and I was supposed to be a pro skater. So how do you? You know, what do you do? What do you do when suddenly everyone else is, you know, that your peers are now all better than you, you know, and they're progressing it faster and further than you ever could. You know, I was like, fuck, man, I don't know. I just knew that my heroes had encouraged me in a different way, and that I could watch these guys skate and appreciate what they were doing, but it wasn't speaking to me. So I just kept listening to, you know, the stuff that mattered to me. Well, I adapt in the sense that I just stayed true to my own skating. I had no other choice. You know, it was either follow, you know, or just do your own thing. And I said, I gotta just do my own thing, man. You know, and if no one cares, then no one cares. But I can't do that.